Hello, I'm Tyler from Manifold Technology, and next up we're going to initialize our newly created serverless blockchain instance. So what we're looking at on the screen right now is the MLP Serverless stack that we have deployed, and that's the serverless blockchain and all the various components that compose that system. Now, in order to initialize this blockchain that we have spun up that is not yet started, we're going to jump into the AWS command line interface and then manually invoke the MLP init lambda. Now we've got that command called out in the quick start guide we've got listed on our website. Come down here, we've got that, so I'll just copy that command and then we're going to paste it into this text editor. I always like to copy commands into text editors and edit them here. Just so you can make sure what you're putting into the command line is what you expect. So first half of this command that we just pasted in is going to remain the same. Once we step over to the payload section, that's where some of the changes happen. First pair we see is the admin and password. This is where we define the password we're going to use for the admin account on our service blockchain system. And so I'll set us up with a very secure password. That we'll be using for demonstration purposes. The currency. So this is where we define the name of the currency that will be used on the blockchain. I'm going to use Testcoin just for the purposes of demonstration. And then the amount. That's going to be the upper limit of that currency that's possible on this blockchain. So once we create this, we can't add more after the fact. So take that into account. Think of it akin to the 16 million limit on Bitcoin. But just for our test setup, I'll go ahead and just pick an arbitrary number, say 10 billion. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. So once we got our command in a place we like to see, copy that to my clipboard. We'll step into the terminal. Before we just run that willy-nilly, one thing I like to do is run this CloudFormation describe stacks command. Now the reason I like to run this first is that way we can make sure we're absolutely speaking to the right AWS organization. And what we want to see in the stack ID is the MLP serverless right here. So now that I know that we're talking about what we want to see, we'll paste in that invoke command that we created before. All right, status code 200. I see that there's no error in that return message. And we'll just take a look at that init file that was created as a result of that. So this is JSON. You can see our Bitcoin integration is disabled. That's because we didn't define that as part of the initialization string. And this base URL, this is going to be the base URL for all of the REST commands that we're going to use to interface with the blockchain. Say create commands, create users, send transactions, and so forth. All right.